What's it, my people? You know this Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you. Another one. This one is from season 2 predictions video. I'm going to start a little bit early tonight. I know I usually start at 8 o'clock. In fact, I just came in right now. I just ran into the house where I was wearing outside and stuff like that. If you're not aware that, in New York, there was a winter storm out of nowhere. Stupid New York. And it's mad snow outside. So that's why I'm dressed like this. You're like, hey, why is he dressed like that at this time of year? This is the reason why I'm dressed like this. But yeah, we're going to get right into this. Unfortunately, you're stuck with just me. Normally, I would have my hood's all messed up. Normally, you would have me, Elamar, and Phil. So Lamar couldn't make it tonight. Yeah, she had some family things, so she couldn't do it. And Phil is at the Boston game, the playoff game. So you know what I mean? So they're both doing their thing there. And, obviously wish they were here, but now you are just stuck with me. So that's why I'm starting early. So that way, you know what I mean? In case y'all get bored, you can get out of here. All right, let's go. Let's get this thing popping. What up to my thugs, nerds, freaks, and geeks? You're now rocking with the best of Don Tony Teflon. You know what you got to do. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell. Thumbs up this goddamn video. You know what it is, man. You know how we do and stuff like that. All right. Also, let me say this real quick in case you don't know. So we are now covering. I'm covering that show. What is it called again? Now you got Outer Range. Covering Outer Range. Dropped my first video on it. And The Usual Suspects. So Usual Suspects is my podcast that I do with Bridge 4 and Phil the Issues Guy. We're going to be covering it every week. So it's going to be Tuesday at 8 p.m. every week. We'll be live streaming that. Then I'll be back on Wednesday live streaming from. All right. So we're going to be doing 2 live streams a week. All right, for all y'all, we're gonna keep it going and everything else. But a lot of stuff that we're doing is we're going to we're gonna shift a lot of focus to this Outer Range. So hopefully y'all watch Outer Range and you come back and you watch that Outer Range show. It's a good show. Bridge 4 will be with me. Phil the Issues Guy will be with me. So it'll be a good time as always. You know what I mean? Rocking with that. That's my brothers and stuff. And that is the way it's going to be. Let me say what up to the people that I see up in the chat with me. Regine the Great is rocking with the Don Tony Teflon. Selena. Oh, anything for Salinas. HBK, the Heartbreak Kid. Is in the building rocking with right now. Look, I can't see a picture right now. Rachel is up in the building. What's going on? Man, listen, you trying to get me with this name to make me say something crazy. So let's just say FG is in the building. All the way from Brazil, rocking with us and stuff like that. Appreciate it. I want to butcher your name, bro. I don't want. That's why I need people with me so that they could do the butchering and everything else like that. And that's it. All right, let's go through some season 2 stuff that we think is going to happen and that we believe is going to happen. Now, normally I would have people, call in and you would leave a voicemail on and stuff. But since it's me by myself and I'm here, and I think I could do it. I'm not sure. I've never actually tried. Let me see if I could do it. I would have to. I think I would have to do this, and then I would have to go this, and then I'd have to go here. I think I could do it. I think I could do it. I think I could still do it and stuff. I think I could pull it off. But if not, what I'm gonna do for you people, what I'm gonna do is I'll put a link in the description. And then if you want to come in here and be on it live with me, the Don Tony Teflon, and say some stuff, you should opportunity to confront me. If you don't like the alien theory, you can come on here live right now and tell me why you don't like it. If you have another theory, you can come on here and tell me exactly why you believe that's right. I'm here for all the criticism and everything else. You know what I mean? So, and I don't hide. I'm not hiding. I show myself. I'm not one of these people who don't show themselves and hide. You know what I mean? It's not me. So I'm the Don, baby. Queens, New York, all the way. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it is and stuff like that. You can definitely jump on with me and say and do what you gotta do. We'll do that in a little bit. So to tell us more about season two. Sorry. So what I think is number one, the reason why they haven't announced season two is that the show is still going on network television right now. All right, still going on. This is the finale for network television. Now on the app, it was 2 weeks ahead of time. Right, so they're not going to announce a new season until this season is officially over, and it's not officially over yet. So it will be. It will be over at the end of this week, and then I think by next week, sometimes we'll get the announcement that there's going to be a season two. That's what I'm going to think. That's what I think about it. So that's what I think about why it's not hasn't been announced yet for season two. What up, Tanisha? Up in here, rocking with us. Appreciate you, sweetheart. And Victor, have you checked out Severance? I did do Severance. I was going to do a Severance review. The plan was that me and Phil were going to come on and do Severance reviews until this show came along. And then when this show came along, then I just, it's hard for me to concentrate on two different shows. You know what I mean? So especially with my time frame and stuff, I would have loved to have been able to cover Severance. I should have, but we're gonna do a full stream on Severance, just about the whole season. We'll do a whole stream on it and go over the whole season and everything else. And I'm also going to this woman. Her name is Heidi. She has a channel called Costume Co. You can check it out. I'll be on her channel. We're gonna do a Severance stream on her channel too. Also, if you're into Better Call Sal, Phil the Issues Guy on his channel is doing Better Call Sal. So if it streams right after the episode ends on Monday, you know what I mean? So if you want to hear Better Call Sal, go to Phil's channel. As soon as the show is over, he's doing a live stream on it right then. All right. That is what it is and everything else. Yeah. Fem Bot is saying that from the super. It is. You know, I like these shows that give you these mysteries where you got to figure certain things out and all that. I'm into that stuff and everything else. I'm gonna have to get up from the chair in a little bit. I do have a food delivery coming, so if you see me leave for a second, I'll be right back. As always, the Thug Mug is in hand. I thank you, Victor. I truly appreciate that. Truly appreciate that. All right, so let's go through it. Season two. There's a couple of things that we have to address in season two and how everything else is going to go down. All right, Serge will go through. He says that, dude, my wife thinks the creatures are vampires. What do you think? Her name is Erica. Say hello. Well, I will say hello to your beautiful wife, Erica, all the way out there in Brazil. What up, sweetheart? And I think that they're not vampires. I can't give you that. So I understand why, and I do think that they have drawn from certain things. Like I think they took certain things from vampires to make these creatures. They think they took things from mythological fairies and made these creatures. I think they pulled from a lot of different things, but in the end, without a doubt, they're aliens. But I understand why you would think they're vampires. Only can go inside the house when you enter, or when you're asked to be, right? That's something from there. But vampires are certain things that we know about vampires. Number one is that they suck blood. They're not sucking blood here. There's no sucking of blood. They're eating people. All right, so they're not gorging on blood. That's the number one trope of vampires. You're a vampire, you drink blood. That's what vampirism is, right? Whether it's vampire spiders, whether it's bats, whatever it is, when you're a vampire, you suck blood. I've never seen a vampire not suck blood. We haven't seen no blood sucking. Nothing at all here. Nothing at all. So I just don't think. I think they took aspects from vampire, and put it in there, but they're not vampires. Now, if you want to listen, as I said, I'll put the link in the description. I'm not playing. If you have a solid internet connection and a way to speak to me, all right, I'll put the link in the description, and you can come on here for a little bit. I'll do one person at a time, depending on how many we get. Come on in for 5 minutes, state your case, and say it. You can bring your beautiful wife, Erica. You can both do it. Pick up your telephone. Just let me know what's going on. So that is the reason. That's the number one reason why I don't believe that they're vampires. A couple other things don't fit with vampires also. But I do understand why you would make that connection to it. I understand that. So it's not something that's far fetched where you're just saying it and like it, like you're saying they're unicorns or anything like that. So I 100% understand why that would be, but it's just not that. It's not that. They're aliens. I mean, let's go through it. And I will say this to all the people who believe that the vampires out there. How do vampires have the technology to make the electricity stay on in the town? Now, I've seen a lot of things about vampires. I didn't know vampires were electricians. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't know vampires worked for Con Edison. I didn't know they worked for Niagara Mohawk. I had no idea. Now, if you know something about an electrician vampire, right, that has this type of technology, let me know. I mean, I don't know. I've never heard of it. Just let me know. Say, hey, Teflon, vampires are electricians. They got that. They got it like that. I've never seen these things that we're seeing here. It's not magical. It's nothing like that. This is technology, right? This is what it is. You know what I mean? There's nothing else to do and stuff like that. I've never seen a vampire go up on the wire and someone's electricity go down. The vampire fix that motherfucker. That is not one of the vampire skills. You know what I mean? That's just not the way it goes. When it comes to vampires. So it just does not fit the bill. When this is what we're seeing in this town is technology. That is what's going on here, right? It's nothing else. These faraway trees are wormholes that are going on. It looks like that when we see the technology of the electricity being put through this town without there being without there being any type of cables or anything to it. This is a technology. It's like a Tesla coil or something going on like that. You know what I mean? That's the only way that you could do something like that, a higher form of that, because we don't see anything in there. So that is what I'm saying. There's Bridge 4 in the building. Bridge 4, great channel. Make sure you subscribe to Bridge 4 channel. He will be joining me tomorrow night. We'll be here tomorrow night. Me, Bridge Phil Issues guy, will be out here doing the first 2 episodes of the new show that we're doing. Oh, what be open range? Why I keep outer range and everything else? So that is what we'll be doing tomorrow. Definitely, if you're into that show, definitely come back tomorrow. We'll be doing that. I was at outer range. Always mess it up in there. They look like sloth. Now we went through this Rick Nasty. I actually pulled up what they actually were. Someone brought up the sloth. We pulled it up. I showed it to you exactly what it was. And as I said, I do believe that these Irish sloths, they definitely took some type of stuff from it. Right? I do believe they took some things from it, but it's clear that they're not them. These creatures have no wings like those other creatures have, and those creatures would kidnap people and bring them somewhere. These creatures have never kidnapped anything. So, I think that they've taken from it, but I don't think that there is anything. Rachel is here with sense, and she says it's clearly about interdimensional space that goes with technology, that goes with space, that goes along with aliens, similar to the Cloverfield movies. You're 100% correct with that. That is what it is. Now, look, the bottom line is this, in all honesty, the bottom line is this, and thank you, Rachel. It's a very smart comment. Bottom line is this. Go look up the show and see what pops up under what genre this show was filed under, right? Filed. Why people call? I'll be right back. Hold on 1 second. right, back. Sorry about that, real quick and everything. Yeah, so when you look it up, as I was saying, it's under science fiction and horror. All right, just like Donna says, that's what it's under: sci-fi horror. So let's just say right now that they're vampires. That would be classified as a horror show. Where's the science fiction part, right? So the way that it is classified under sci-fi horror, it means strictly that this is a sci-fi. When you deal with sci-fi, you deal with science fiction is aliens most of the times. And I'm telling you, that's what it's about. Now, if you wanted to say that this is some human beings that have discovered alien technology and is running experiments on people that's actually turned people into this, like some Resident Evil type situation, then I could buy that. I could buy that 100% that it could be something like that. 100%. I could see it being something like that. No doubt about it. But the bottom line is that it's sci-fi horror. That's what it's classified under. If you go on Epics and put UFO alien shows on Epics, this thing it pop right up. This is what pops up. You know what I mean? So I understand that I'm the one who created this alien theory. And I know a lot of people have jumped on the Don's bandwagon. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people have been against me. Either or, it's okay. I don't really care. We'll see what's going on. It's all right. You're never late. You're always right on time, baby. Never think that. Looking forward to season 2. You know what I mean? That's what I probably throw us up. So they can't. They can't just say, right, when they give you a listing of a show, when they put the listing on the television network, they can't just make something up and throw off the people who watch it. This is big business. You can't just have a porno flick up there and say, I'm gonna call it anime just to throw people off, right? It gets filed under a category for a reason. Right? You don't publish a book and put it over here and put it, in a certain section of the library and it not be that section and just say, I'm gonna do that just to throw somebody off. Right? You file things in categories because that's what they are classified under. and that's what it is, you know what I mean? Listen, I am with you. Y'all don't have to believe it. I'm happy y'all don't believe it. Because the more people who believe things, the less likely it is to be true. I figured that out and doing YouTube for a long time. You know what I mean? So I hope y'all keep not believing me. And believe me, when I'm proven right, and I will be, I'll be right here with you. Right here to let you all know that I was right. Waiting for you to come here and bend the knee to the Don Tony Teflon for being right. Kelly Johnson, thank you for the super chat. It says, T, we're looking for Bridge 4, like we've been looking for Will's Waldo. So Bridge 4 is in the building. He's here right now, actually. And as I said, he'll be streaming with me tomorrow when we do our Outer Range stream. We'll be doing that. Is that the name of the show? Yes, it is. We'll be doing that tomorrow, 8 p.m. So make sure you're here tomorrow, and you will see Bridge 4 live in the flesh on the Don's channel. Usual suspects, baby. We're getting it in. Ms. Sasha LaRue, we love you, Tony. We love you too. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Sometimes it's good to hear. You know what I mean? You need to hear these things and stuff. So I appreciate you saying it to me 100%. And I don't take it for granted. All right. Don't think I do. All right. So let's keep talking about the show. And go on about the show. If people are interested in coming on, let me know. You know what I mean? Let me know, and I will put the link in the description. I just need to know at least one person say, yeah, I'm willing to come on here with you, and I want to ask you a question, and I'll definitely put it on there. You know what I mean? Without a doubt. Oh, he's saying we saw your video that say they are aliens but don't make sense, because creatures don't get out at the daylight. Well, I explained that in the video. Maybe you missed. Number one, I had 2 videos on it. So maybe you haven't watched it and maybe you didn't understand it. So yes, I did explain why they didn't come out in the daylight. In the video, you could see clearly that they have no melanin in their skin, that they're pale white. So obviously, most likely, the sun affects them. Now, this is not a new concept, right? If you look at War of the Worlds, right? If you look at that, that's what it's called, right? I do believe. If you look at that, the aliens came to Earth and was destroying mankind and beating the shit out of mankind, and people were hiding in sewers and everything else. And the only reason why they were defeated was the bacteria in the planet caused them to die. Even with all their alien technology they had, they could not withstand the bacteria from the planet, and it killed them off. And that's the only thing that saved the human race. It wasn't the humans at all. I think it's a situation that's going on right now. You know what I mean, with them and everything. So I think it's the planet. They can't take the atmosphere. They can't take the sunlight. So they're not allowed. So they can't be outside when the sun is up. And I think that clearly explains why they couldn't be it. So thinking that, oh, because they're aliens, they'll just be able to withstand everything. You gotta understand, all an alien is someone who jumps from planet to planet. Human beings are aliens. If we go to Mars and there's some Martians there, they're gonna say that we're aliens, and the Martians are like we're the aliens, right? The aliens is just a species that's not from that planet, and that's it. So that's just the way it goes. And there, Mr. Rue, I've been with you since. God, thank you very much. We'll be back doing House of the Dragon when House of the Dragon drops. And I appreciate you rocking with me all that time. It's been a very long time rocking with me like that. You know what I mean? And everything else. Right here, Nikki says that yeah, common cold kills aliens in War of the Worlds. Exactly, they did, and that's all it was, right? So it's that simple. It's that simple with it. All right, so the monsters seem to be evolving, though. I don't know. I don't know if they're evolving. I think that the thing about the monsters that I'm gonna defer to Pega. What she said, Gilfrey. I forgot. I can't pronounce her last name. Pega. The actress who plays Fatima. When she came on the channel, she said specifically that the thing that makes these aliens really, really scary is the fact that they know everything about you. And I'm gonna defer to that. That's what makes them scary. Now, someone else asked, why do they walk? I can't tell you exactly why they walk, but it seems like when we talked about it and everything else, it seemed like when we talked about it that they in the show when they were talking about it, they said that they do this. It's like a game to them, right? They enjoy the hunt and everything else, right? So I think they walk because they enjoy it. They enjoy stalking people and everything else. We've seen this happen with the predator, right? We've seen that the predator can go out there and kill the human beings anytime they want, but they enjoy the chase. They enjoy it, and this is what they seem to be. They seem like they enjoy the chase. Look, that guy could have came down that steps. The Howdy Doody looking dude, right? You know what I'm talking about, Howdy Doody. Do I have a picture of Howdy Doody? Let me see if I have a picture of Howdy Doody. This dude right here, right? Howdy Doody. Now, he could have easily came down on those steps and killed everyone. Instead, he purposely smiled at them, let the blood drip from his mouth until they noticed him, and then came down after them, right? They could have really went down there and just started murdering people if they wanted, but he wanted to see them afraid for some reason. He wanted to see them like that, So I do believe it's some type of game to them and everything, and they like doing it. Oh, he said, thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate that. Teflon, did you see my comment about the bus on your last video? I might have. I get a lot of comments, bro. So if you would like to put it in here again, I will definitely take a look at it right now if you want to put it on here and everything else. He said, "Oh my God, he does look like Howdy Doody. Ain't no doubt about it. I don't just make these things up, Nikki. You know what I'm saying? For a reason, he definitely does look like Howdy Doody, that bastard." All right, 25 minutes in, it's Howdy Doody time. He was busy checking out the plants too. Goddamn porn stash, that bastard. Porn stash. I hate that bastard porn stash. He deserved to die. What a fool. Got killed over some alien booty. I ain't gonna, it was a nice looking alien booty. I ain't gonna front. I ain't gonna front. But there was hotter chicks in that damn colony house. You know what I mean? I guess that should be a thing, man. Like if you're out there, you gotta find someone to sleep with people. Because if you don't, this is what happens. You see? When you ostracize people, you don't sleep with them. You know what I mean? There has to be someone who's willing to take it for the team. All right, no matter who it is, someone's got to be willing to take one for the team. All right, when you're in a situation like this, all right, you know what I mean? Because this is what happens with dudes that get no booty. You know what I mean? You got to do something here, right? Someone's got to take it. Take it. Someone's got to take it. Or you're gonna have people like porn stars letting in monsters, right, and everything else. You can't do that. You gotta do it. You just gotta take it. Tony loves some booty. You goddamn right I do. You goddamn right I do. I'm a black man from Queens and I'm single. What do you think? And that's it. All right. So let's take a question right here. It says, I was saying the bus could possibly be used to get everyone out of the town. Yeah. All right. So yes, I do remember your comment when you put this in there by putting a talisman on the bus and drive. Yes, I 100% remember you putting that comment in there, and I think it's a good observation. Only thing that throws that off is why they're stuck on that road. So even if they had the bus and they started driving people out, there's no out. It just loops around. So at the end, when this is all said and done, quite possibly, because we got to deal with that situation. How come you get stuck here and you're in this loop where you can't get out? Well, no matter what direction you're going, you keep going around and around and around. So I do agree that it could be the bus could be that, but I just don't know if it could be that right now. You know what I mean? Now, look, could you go out on that road where that tree fell down and then everybody chopped the tree up and then go down? I don't think that'll work because we would have seen a million trees in the ground and we don't. So we have to assume that someone did do that and everything else. You know what I mean? So that would be that. Now, I see what you're saying. The talisman could object to defy whatever his forces call them to say. I don't know if the talisman does that. You know, I don't know if the talisman will make them not come back because Boyd was going off into the woods with the talisman before by himself, and he still was stuck. So it wasn't like he was able to walk and wander places with the talisman and got different places. You know what I mean? And everything else is like that. Wendy M. You're single? Damn. You like older women? I sure do. I like women. This not young women. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say about that. You know what I mean? It would just be, if that was the case, Boyd would have already made it out because he's already ventured to the woods. Now he says this is the farthest I've ever been, but he's already done that, right? But he didn't realize that the talisman will even give you a point that fits. He didn't realize that the talisman did not work, even though he should. Now that's something that's suspect, all right? And I'll say that's something that you know what I mean. Something that Phil Issues guys are there chiming in. He's at the Boston Celtics game. I can't cheer for Boston or Brooklyn. I'm a New York Knicks fan. What up to my brother Phil out there? Thank you for stopping by and just saying with everything else. So now JV, I'm gonna give you a little thing here. Now that didn't make sense. That they kind of messed up. You know what I mean? I'm gonna call out the show a little bit here. The writers, and maybe it slipped their mind. All right. So they had played it that Boyd had no idea. No one had no idea that talisman would work in the RV. Right? They didn't know. So the way they set it up is saying that they thought that it would only work in houses. Right? That's the way I took it. Now you could let me know in the chat if that's the way you took it. Did you think that the way they talked about it, the way they were scared to go out in the RV and stay overnight there, that they only felt that the talismans worked for some reason when you were in the house? I mean, to me, that's the way they set it up. Now, maybe you've seen it differently, but to me, that's the way it looked. Now, You could tell me how you felt about it. People are saying yes in the chat. All right. If that is the case, and that's what they did, then the way Boyd found the talismans is bogus, because he fell into the cave, right? He fell into a cave with no front door in front of it. It just had leaves hanging down, right? And they didn't come in there and get him. So from that right there, he should know that it doesn't just work in the house, right? Because his ass was in the no house. His ass was in a motherfucking cave with motherfucking leaves. You know what I mean? Leaves hanging down. Look like my aunt's beads. Back in the day, my aunts had beads. I don't know if y'all family is old enough to have beads. My aunts used to have beads hanging down in the doorways. You know, my aunts and all of them from back in the day. You know what I mean? But I used to remember going through the beads when I was little. Y'all family members ever have? That was a black thing. Maybe I don't know about the beads, but they had beads hanging down in the doorways when I was growing up and stuff like that in my aunt's house and stuff. You know what I mean? But if that was the case, he should have realized right then that, hey, it's not the house. You know what I mean? It's not the house. See, Angie know. Angie know. I used to go on the beach. Yeah, that's the way it was going through my aunt's house back then. But so to me, that didn't make sense, right? Because they set it up to make it think that he only thought it would work in a house, but when he found him, he didn't find him in a house. He found him in a cave. So he should have known right there that it didn't have to be in a house to work. All right, so that's the way I would look at it and everything else. You know what I mean? So the talismans is a little bit suspect right there. And I also will say about the talismans that they're not the same rock that was inside of the cave. If you look and you see inside the cave, that it's not the same rock that was in this. It's a different rock. It's totally a different rock in there. That's why they stood out, because it's a different rock. So we don't know exactly what rock that is. Now, someone said, is it an Under the Dome situation? I used to watch the show Under the Dome. I liked Under the Dome. We've seen the pictures from Victor that it looked like they were in a glass bubble. You know, one of them snow bubbles that you shake up and it snows and stuff. That's what it looked like he drew. So is it a thing like that? It quite possibly be. I mean, the only way we could ever find out is if you reach the edge and you touch it, and that would be the only way to know, or if a bird flew into it somehow and crashed down. You know what I mean? So it does look like that's what he drew. Why he drew that, I don't know, but I could understand why you would think that it is glass bowl. It could be. All right, I'm going to give the link here in the chat. Now, if you don't come on, that's fine. No one has to. You know what I mean? But if you want to come on for, and ask a question live to me, all you gotta do is go on that link right there. All you gotta do is make sure that you have a connection to the internet and a microphone to talk, and you can come on. You can ask me a question. You can challenge any theory that I have or anything else. Yes, Sidra, snow globe is correct. I be forgetting words, man. And stuff, so that's the link. All you gotta do is pop in. I'll see you when you pop in and everything else, and you can go through it. But until then, if that does not go down, we can keep going. So what if it's a giant escape room? Toby is a fucking genius. So I like, is his name Toby? Who is Toby? Oh, Toby's the guy who got killed. That's right. I'm like, who's Toby? Well, this ain't Roots, motherfucker. The fuck you talking about, Toby? No, so let's go through that real quick. I got a super chat here. I'm going to take that, but let's go through that. I think when they mention something, when they say something, right, that's they're dispelling what they believe that us would ask about the show. Just like they had Tabitha say, "Did we die?" They knew, the writers knew, that when they did this show that people would think certain things. So they say these things to dispel these theories right off the bat, so you know that this is not the case, right? And that's just what it is. So I think that that's not the case. I think they put it out there just so that you know that that's not the case. Richard D says the aliens draw on the rock wall underground. The Matthews drew and asked questions on their house walls almost exactly above where the aliens do. Is that a coincidence? I don't know if it's a coincidence. I mean, I would have. Thank you for the super chat, Rachel. I would have to think that it is, because it. I think they're not just under the Matthews house. From the picture that we've seen of Victor drawing the snow globe picture, it seemed like there was tunnels under multiple houses. So it seems they're under the houses. Now, the thing that I don't understand is that if it's under the houses, why can't they just bust from underneath the houses and come from underneath there? Unless it's just that far. Now, if it's that far, how come she didn't twist the ankle? I mean, listen, she fell far. She fell. All right. It wasn't like I don't know. Is this chick, does she have some type of gymnastic skills that we don't know about? I mean, is she a gymnast? Because I don't know, man. If it was a Mario game and he fell that far, you'd be dead, right? You'd be dead. The video game couldn't fall that far and make it, all right? You fuck yourself up. She fell all the way down, and she didn't even twist the ankle. She didn't sprain the pinky toe. I mean, there's rocks that fell down underneath of her. It wasn't like she fell on solid footing. There was rocks underneath her. She didn't roll her ankle. She didn't twist nothing. What kind of legs this woman got? I mean, I'd be squatting some shit, but not no shit like that. That would prevent that motherfucker. You would think at least she would do something. I mean, yes, Tam, I understand you are right. The injuries do heal up, but not that goddamn quick. This bitch ain't Wolverine. She'd have to be. Right? She would have to be to heal up that quick. And I don't think he healed that motherfucking quick. Because she just jumped down there and fucking was looking through the fucking dust and shit. And then fucking Victor just turned around. She was grabbing on the shit, looking at the bottom and shit like, oh, you just fell 50 motherfucking feet. You know what I mean? If I fall 50 feet, I gotta lay there for, listen, it depends. If I'm alone and I fall off a step, one step, I gotta lay there for a second. Like, goddamn, I fell. God damn it, I fell. Right? It take me a second. Now, if people are around, I pop up quick like a motherfucker. I pop up quick and walk away, get in my car, and be like, oh, my back. And they're gonna let you see that shit. I ain't gonna let you see that shit. But she jumped her ass up quick. Motherfucking quick, she jumped up her ass up. She was up that motherfucker boy. I don't know. She didn't even stumble. That bitch just fell down and said, right? And okay. And she fell down. It was all done and stuff, right? So that is just what it was. And everything else. But when dealing with that situation and dealing with in all seriousness, dealing with the things down there, what we did find out about them. What did we find out? We found out that the carvings in the inside of the talismans are the same drawings that were on that wall. And Victor said that these creatures drew. Now, again, we talked about this a little bit in the other stream. When do they have time to draw shit on the wall? What's going on underneath that motherfucker? Are they fucking these creatures down there? Because I thought they were sleeping the whole time. And how do they know what colors are to draw in colors? All right. How do they know how to get these colors? Where is the red paint underneath the ground that is making these drawings down there? How are they finding that stuff down there? Why are you drawing that shit? Exactly, Jay. How can they see in the dark? We don't know if they can see in the dark. How are they doing that? That shit ain't sloppy. That shit is impeccable. How are they doing that stuff? Oh, Donna says blood. Listen, if it's blood, that would work, Donna. If it's blood, you're messing up my joke, though, Donna. Let me just keep doing my joke. Don't put sense to this shit. That's what I'm saying. How are they drawing this motherfucker? I don't know. I have no idea. You know what I mean? Maybe Regime the Great crayons. Except Victor's damn crayons. These just last forever. How long this motherfucker been there since the 70s, and he still got crayons. All right, there's still some shit going on here. All right, how the hell is this possible? All right, I'm just playing with the show. I don't want these people to get mad at me. I mean, I'm just trying to probably try to make too much sense of the show and everything else. So and everything, you know, so I'm just playing with them and everything else when it goes down. So people wanted to talk about the lighthouse a little bit. So let me put this out there real quick. I put a recent video out about the lighthouse, if y'all watch it, and it would have had much more views than it had, but it got flagged. Not only did it get flagged, and when videos sometimes get flagged, it happens. You get it for copyright and stuff like that. Usually, when that happens, you know, they monetize the video themselves, and then they take the video and they take the money, the proceeds it makes, and leave the video out. That's usually what happens to get flagged. But next video, this video specifically, when I did this video, it was flagged and banned. Not only was it flagged, the video was banned. Those parts that I had, 2 minutes of that video was banned. It wasn't just like it was 10 seconds. 2 minutes of that video was banned worldwide. Now, why was that happen? Did I say something in that video that people did not want me to say in that video, and that's why it got banned? I will tell you in my next video that I put exactly, I'll put that the audio from there of exactly what I said. And I was talking about that light tower in those 2 minutes. So we'll put that in there and we'll see exactly what happens there right now. All right. So let's say I'm Safe Gold 42 said the bartender is in it. I called that early on. So we did speak about there being moles inside of this in the last live stream we did last week. And I'm Gold 42 did bring this up, right? So we said this last week that if this is a government plot, that they would have to have moles inside. Now, someone talked about Severance. I'm not going to give Severance away, but I'm just saying they would have to have moles inside here, right, to tell them exactly what's going on. Now, is the voice of that man the voice that came across the radio? Because specifically, we see that he did not want to go. Everyone else in the town wanted to go, but he was like, I don't want to get motherfuckers for, so I'm out of here. I want to go back and go drink some more of this goddamn toilet bowl hooch I'm making this shit. All right. So in my next video, what I'll do is I'm going to play you his voice, and I'm going to play you the voices that we heard in that thing. And we're going to see if we can match up the voices and see if it was him that it was down. Now, again, another thing we have to say, we're going to put out there. And I put all this stuff out there because, you know, I know that these other YouTubers like to watch my streams and go back and use what I say in their videos. That's fine. Go right ahead. This is fair use. Should shout me out and say it, but remember when Jade first brought the idea of doing this CB radio thing, he brought it to the bar and he talked to this man about it, right? He talked to him about it, and then sometimes, why would he go there? Why would they all of a sudden? Things are not just done just to do it. Things set up. When you have a good story, set things up. So it just looked like, oh, Jay just happened to stumble in the bar. He talked to the bartender about it. And then later on in the episode, the bartender's like, well, I don't feel like going there. I don't feel like watching this whole thing work. Right? So if he told the bartender about his plan, The bartender, if he is a mole, he goes and he tells the people he's communicating with, this is their plan, this is what they're going to do. And then he goes back there in the bar. He has a device to sabotage the whole situation. That's what I say. The bartender. I don't know if he's a physicist or a philosopher. He's something. Donna says on IMDb, it says they are in the city in the middle U.S. that imprisons people who enter. They are all right. So they are in South Carolina because if you look at the pictures that Victor drew them, when he drew them on newspapers. And in the newspaper, I didn't put this. I should have put this in. I'll put it in another video. You can see it. I'll enhance it. You can see in the newspaper that's there. It's talking about South Carolina. It's talking about the Civil War in South Carolina, the war and the draft going on in South Carolina is what they're talking about there. So unless someone traveled from back then, all the way back then, with a newspaper back then and brought it in there and he found it, I would have to say that they're somewhere in South Carolina. You know, that's where I would have to think that they're at and stuff. And everything. Jason, did the bartender know Tabitha was digging that hole? Did they ever talk about it? Not that I didn't see Tabitha in the bar. Only time we ever seen the bartender was in the bar. Shut up. Only time we ever seen the bartender was in the bar, and Tabitha never was out there drinking. You know what I mean? And that was it. You know, the bartender sorry as hell. What do you think? He most likely he is. I mean, a light-skinned black man in the bar in this town. Ain't there many black people in this motherfucker? You know what I mean? But we do have, I will say, we have a great diverse cast, and that's one of the things that I truly like about this show is the diversity in this cast. You know what I mean? But no doubt he's suspect. No doubt the bartender. When the next video comes out, we'll talk about the bartender. And I promise you, I will keep doing videos on From until season 2 comes out. I will not stop doing. I will keep doing live streams. As long as you show up to these live streams, I will continue doing the live stream. If I do a live stream and 10 people show up, though I love the 10 who would show up, I'll have to move on to something until season 2 comes out. But if not, I will listen. I am a Game of Thrones YouTuber. Trust me. I did videos on Game of Thrones when they were waiting 2-3 years to come out with a season, and I still was doing videos on Game of Thrones in between. So I definitely will do it without a doubt. All right, so we got Don is asking, do you think the spider bite will change Boyd? So do the spiders actually turn these creatures into what we see, these aliens? I think the aliens, you know, I don't think so. I think that the spider bite may cure him of his Parkinson's disease. If anything, I think that would be it. I can't see them losing him. I think that we you know, that when you look at the actor who's playing this role, I do believe he's in his 60s or just turned 60s. Regardless, this is the first lead role where it's his show. I don't think they try to pull like talking about Game of Thrones, a Ned Stark, and kill him off. Or even in Vikings and kill off Ragnar. You know what I mean? I don't think they try to pull that situation here. He is the face of this franchise. Every other actor that we see here is not as known as him. And in all honesty, and I'm hope to interview a lot of this cast, and I'm going to do my best to do so. I just don't think that they could pull the show off without him. I don't think it's the same show. I think they need him in this show. I don't think the other people are established enough for people to watch the show without Boyd being in it. You know, if Kenny took over and all his Boyd dies and Kenny is now the new sheriff, it's not going to be the same show. He is the face of the franchise. He's on every poster that you see. It's always about him. It's his show. And I think that he's proud of this show. I see him tweeting on Twitter about the show, and I think that he has to stay. So I think that most likely, if it's going to do anything, it's going to help him. It's going to cure his Parkinson, and then he won't have it, and that's how he'll stay on and everything else. That's the way I see it. All right, let me get another drink, and then after I drink this drink, then we'll wrap it up. So think of your questions. Right back. Alrighty, Don is in the building. All right, I'm back. Sid C, just like Dexter, no show without him. I think they want to do it a different Dexter. They're dying to do it, but C. Michael Hall don't want to do it. They're dying to do a spinoff of Dexter. They're dying. Showtime is dying to do it. I think they're really betting on Showtime is going to see. I'm telling you, Showtime's coming out with a show. They have a show called The Man Who Fell to Earth, remake of that movie that came out, but with David Bowie, I do believe was starring in the movie and everything else. They're doing that on the show. If that show doesn't hit, I guarantee they'll pull out a Dexter, New Blood, season 2. Guarantee they'll do it because they have to have some type of hit on that network. You just seen the big merger between Discovery and Warner Brothers and stuff like that. So that is what it's all about and everything else. Oh, Michelle Hayes has now put a picture of herself. Listen, I like people, put your picture up there so people can see what you look like. Everyone appreciates that. All right. We all appreciate it. We all appreciate everything like that. All right. Rachel says Sarah will come back to town before Boyd. The writers made a point for Ellis to see her with them. So when she comes back, the town doesn't. So when she comes back, the town doesn't put her in the box. I agree with this point. I agree that she will be found before Boyd is found. I think that, you know what I mean, that Boyd is inside the church chimney, most likely. It seems like it could be Colony House. I think it's a church chimney. I think it's a church chimney. I think that's where he's at. He's in there and everything else. No Modell. No, I didn't have time to go out and get Modell. What was this? None of my comments get up there. What are you talking about, Michael? This one just got up there. Go ahead, Michael Flanagan. I will be looking for your comment now. So please put your comment up here. I will put your comment on here. I promise you. I'm gonna be looking here. You know what I mean? Without a doubt. Victor is kind of sus. Yes, he's Victor. God damn it. Ain't nothing good about Victor. Nothing good about him. Ain't nothing good about no grown man carrying around a goddamn lunch pail. Nothing good about that. If you went outside right now and you seen a grown man carrying around a lunch pail like he ain't got no job, or you got a lunch pail and you go on the job, you got a job. That's respectable. You know what I mean? And that's motherfucking respectable. But if you don't have no goddamn job and you see a motherfucker carrying a lunch pail around, the fuck you doing? What are you doing? Oh, So I'm going to tell you about this side shit right here, real quick. Since we all people, you know what I mean. All right, it's some side shit. So I was in a gym. I mean, I go to the gym 4 days a week. I know you probably can't tell that I do, but I do. All right, and so I'm in the gym, and well, while I'm up in there and stuff, the dudes talking to me and shit. Like, oh, Tef, look at that boy right there, son. He's right here. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, dude, you gotta look at this one. Look at this one right here. What's on there? So I go over here and I go and I look at Shorty over here. That dude's and listen, Shorty about 6 foot. I would say she's at least 6'1", tall chick. And she had on white, like spandex with no, I don't know what you call them, spandex shorts, white, right? Shorty like maybe she's 6'1.5". All right. And she, this chick you could just see that she up in the gym. She doing squats. She doing a thing. Now, I treat chicks when I'm in the gym. I don't go there to look at chicks. I don't go there to pick up chicks. I go there to do my job and get out. But when I do look at someone, I treat chicks like the sun. All right. I look like you look at the sun and you can't stare. You just glance. So I looked and glanced and I said, that's a pretty girl. And the dudes say, oh my gosh, she ain't got no underwear on. Look at this chick. Go. I'm talking about all these dudes going in. I'm just like, listen, I'm doing don't leave me alone. So I start working out to do my workout. And these dudes just going on about this chick, right? So I was out the next motherfucking day. I had to go out. And I had to do something for my peoples real quick. So I go there, and while I'm doing this shit for my peoples, I look and I said, wait a second. Is this the chick that was right here in the motherfucking working out? And I looked again, I was like, it was her, because she had on the same fucking hoodie that she had during working out. And when she worked out, she took the hoodie off. But she had the same hoodie, and I'm looking at her. I'm like, oh my God, this is the same chick. You know where I seen this chick at? You know where I seen her? I didn't see her in goddamn McDonald's. I didn't see her at Dunkin' Donuts. This chick was in middle fucking school. And she wasn't working in middle school. She was a motherfucking student. A fucking student right in there. A baby. I mean, how old can you be in middle school? She ain't even in high school. Fucking middle school. Now, granted, I would say this to all the dudes in there looking at her. This chick like 6 foot, 6'1". She did not look like she in middle school. But I went back to that gym. I was like, y'all all about to go to jail. You about to go to jail, motherfuckers. Y'all all about to go to jail, motherfuckers. You better watch. You better watch. You better watch yourself. All right. That is my side note story real quick. Let's get back to business. But that was middle school. Middle fucking school. And I'm telling you, when I seen her in the gym, and I swear to you, and I would tell you, because I'm honest, I wasn't staring at her, but when I glanced and looked over at her, there's no way you'd have thought this was some middle school shit. No more. There's no way. But the bottom line is she is. All right. That is what. All right, let's go on. Let's go on. Sophia's like shake my head. You gotta watch these motherfuckers, man. You gotta watch people. All right. Let's go through Rachel again. Victor and Jade are the definition of character development. Victor was creepy as fuck, and Jade was an asshole by episode 1. But the finale, we are happy to see Victor show up, and Jade had us in tears. Now, let's go through. Did Jade have you in tears? I don't know if Jade didn't have me in tears. He didn't have me in tears. See, Jade, to me, he's not an asshole. There's difference, right? He's a dick, all right? And that's what Jade is to me. And I think that you need dicks. Dicks are very important because dicks fuck pussies and assholes, right? Team America, Durka. And that's the bottom line, right? So you need that shit. You need a dick. You need someone who's going to be a dick, who's going to call you on your shit and force you to move in a certain direction. You know what I mean? So I think you need dicks. You need dicks in life. You know what I mean? You need people who are dicks. Assholes are assholes. Fuck an asshole. But a dick, I look at him more as a dick than an asshole. Now, as for Victor is still creepy. I don't see. I wasn't happy to see his ass down there. He ruined my goddamn theory. I said it was gonna be her goddamn son and shit that passed away, and this motherfucker roll up. Fuck you, Victor. But bravo to everybody else, the people who People hit me up and they were like, yo, it's going to be Victor down there. It's going to be Victor down there and everything else. And I was like, it's going to be. It seemed like everything was set up to be connected to a son and everything else the way it was. But nope, it was Victor. It definitely was Victor and everything else. Karma right here. She's saying, Victor isn't creepy to me. He seems a bit slow. So now you're taking it somewhere else, Karma. He definitely seems like, I think what happened to Victor is that he's so traumatized by what he's seen as a child. And when he's seen all the dead bodies, he had his lunch pail with him. So I think his lunch pail is like Linus's blanket, right, from Charlie Brown. I think it's his security lunch pail. And he keeps that close to him to make him feel, say, listen, we all might be like that. We walk through a town and see massacred bodies on the floor, walking around, and then there's some boy in white on a goddamn merry-go-round. You know what I mean? That would make you feel a certain way and everything else. You know what I mean? So I understand what you're saying. Yes, he does seem slow and everything else, but there's something going on now. All right, Michael, let's go here. Instead tells a story about checking out a middle school girl. Now, number one, I didn't check out a middle school girl, Michael. I told a comment. Look. I told a story about people who were. I wasn't checking her out. Listen to the story. Don't try to put words in my mouth. I told a story, and that was it. Just to break up the time, because I'm a comedian. That's what I do. Now, skipped your comment once again. I'm going to go all the way back just for you, Michael. Just for you. And I'm going to see if I can find your comment. Now, I have a bunch of people comment. Here we are. Let's give Michael the shine, because this is what he wants. So let's give him what he wants here. And if you're insulted that I have missed your comment, I'm sorry. I cannot highlight every comment. All right? I don't do it on purpose. I'm not singling you out, saying I ain't gonna look at Michael's comments no matter what he says. All right, it's not the case. All right, sometimes I start to rant, I start talking, and it's things slip my mind. Let's go through it, Michael. All right, Flanagan, see what you have to say here. They are all fish creature cult. They entrap people. That's why they are white, no melanin, and seen in the dark, deep water, underground caves, lighthouse, in the middle of nowhere. Clouds cause the flood. All right. All right. So Michael is claiming here, saying that these people are feature. Now, what are you saying here? Are you saying that they are fish creatures or a fish creature cult? Now, are you saying that they worship fish creatures, or are they themselves fish creatures? Tell me what you mean by this before I even comment on this. They are a fish creature cult. Are you saying that these people just worship fishes, fish creatures like the Squishers in Game of Thrones, and they worship them? Or are they actually fish creatures themselves? And what are we talking about here? Are we talking about the actual creatures that are entrapping them, or the creatures that are killing them? So I need you to go into a little bit more detail before I say what's going on here. So please, Michael, I'm here now and everything else. So this is what you can do. I'm asking you to say it right now. You can say it, and let's get this thing popping right now. Because now you have my attention. This is what you wanted, and I'm going to give it to you right now. So please explain yourself. Are they actually a fish creature cult? Are they saying that they are people who worship fish creatures or not? We're not going. I'm going to go. Thank you so much, Fernandez T, for the super chat. What up, Tough Line TV and gang? Hump Day. Happy Hump Day. Puff Up Pass. Happy 420 to everybody else and everything else. And all that. It's strongly based around the book of H.P. Lovecraft called Shadow. That's not what I'm asking you. So I see that. What I'm asking you is, from your comment, are you saying that they are fish creatures, or just people who worship fish creatures. And are we talking about the people who are trapping them there, or the monsters that are killing them, or are they one and the same? They are creatures who worship a god called Dogen. All right, so you're saying that these creatures are fish creatures, the monsters that are killing them. That's what I'm taking it as. That's what I'm going to say. All right, so I could not say that they're fish creatures. Number one, if you deal with anything and you say that it's a fish, right, or a fish creature, the number one thing you would have to have is gills. You would have to have the ability to breathe underwater. You would have to say that you are underwater most of the time. There has not been a creature, a fish creature, ever made that has not had gills, who has not had to been under the water more than able to be in the land. We've seen that these creatures are just hanging out in the basements, putting graffiti on the goddamn wall. We don't see them in waters. We haven't seen anything of them being in the water whatsoever. We haven't seen them swimming. If you're saying that they're fish creatures, and that's the case, there has to be some connection to water, right? You don't just say, all right, that's like me saying, you see these ravens that are flying all over the place? These are fish ravens, right? No, you said they're ravens and they're birds. Why? Because what do birds do? Birds fucking fly. So we see birds flying, right? That's what we see. That's how you know it's a bird. It's a bird flying. It's associated with it. If you're associating something with a fish, then there has to be water involved. There's no other thing that you could do. You know what I mean? I am trying to be, you know, I haven't read the book, if that's what you're saying, if that's what you're trying to say. But you know what I mean? I'm just saying that if it's dealing with fish in a show, it's going to deal with something in water. And if it's not dealing in water, then I myself cannot say that they're fish creatures. Now, if you want to say that certain people worship a fish god, then you could say that. But as for the creatures themselves, I do not see them being fish creatures at all. I don't see them having anything that looks like a fish. Maybe I have a picture here real quick, and I'm not going to be able to see anyone's comments when I pull this up. Let's pull this up real quick. Let's take a look right here. Now, when I'm looking at this picture, and this is the woman that hit, and she killed the pastor right before she killed the reverend. When we look at this creature, I mean, we can't get a good shot of her neck, but usually if there's anything dealing with fish, I mean, if you ever watched the show The Boys, right, and they show the deep, you see they show his gills, right, because he's someone who goes under the water and swims around. They show his gills, and he's all embarrassed about his gills, and he thinks they look ugly and everything else. This is what they show. When you talk about Aquaman, you see Jason Momoa swimming in the water. Anytime there's anything depicting anything with a fish, you always see the water around. We have seen no water around. So for that reason, I can't say it is. Not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't see it. When I look at these creatures and I see this from the pictures that I'm seeing, number one thing I could say right now is that they're aliens. They have pointy ears like Spock, like elves and everything else. And that's what it looks like to me more than fish creatures itself. Now, again, now he's saying that Dogon's cultists live underwater, but they make the water go away when recalling potential followers. But we haven't seen. Now I will say this, I'm going to help you out a little bit here and give you a little bit something. There will be a flood that is going to happen in season 2. We looked at Victor's pictures and we've seen that there was a flood, but we have not seen a flood since the 70s, right? And there's never been a flood there. So I would think that they would have to be water way before the 70s till now for them to make the water go away. The water has been away for over 100 years. So I mean, it's been away for a long time and everything else. You know what I mean? So I can't say it. Not saying that you're wrong and everything else like that. But me personally, all right, I just can't get down with them being fish creatures. If you're right and I'm wrong, I will be right here to say that I am wrong. 100%. I'll be right here to say, Michael Flanagan had it. He said that they were fish creatures and he knew that they were, and I didn't catch it. You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't see it. You know what I mean? But I hope that me answering this makes you feel all right. I ain't trying, you know what I mean? I don't be trying to ignore people's questions or anything else like that. I have a lot of comments that keep going up, so I can't get to everybody, man. But if that's what you want to talk the alien, these Alfie shit's goddamn Jada Pinkett aliens. Jada Pinkett aliens. Will Smith gonna come smack me? He won't smack me because he knows what happens if he tries to smack me. Let's see. Is that Jada? Oh, you're gonna get people mad, Fernandez. You know you're gonna get people mad. People love Jada. You're gonna get people mad. And everything. You're gonna get people mad. So all that. All right, now, Bell Save said, "Do you think the boy in white may be malevolent? Being trying to escape the real world? I don't trust the boy in white. I don't. I know that he's trying to look like the savior, but I don't see it. I think something's up with the boy in white. I think there's something wrong with him. You know what I mean? I don't like the boy in white. When I look at his face, I just don't get any happiness. Something going on there. So I think there's something going on with the boy in white. I do not. I think he has his own agenda. I think that the boy in white is who they wanted Sarah to kill. They wanted him to kill the boy in white. But she just got confused because she never seen the boy in white. So she thought it was Ethan that they wanted to kill. But I don't think it was Ethan. I think that was it. Kelly Jonathan, thank you for the super chat. It said, T, should Rock have put them hands on Will Smith? I mean, listen, no, he shouldn't have. Because if he wouldn't have, it wouldn't be going in his favor right now. Now, if it was somebody like me who's stupid and doesn't have that much self-control, then yes, me and Will Smith would have had to fight. Now, would he kick my ass or I kick his ass? The world will never know. But regardless, whatever would have happened, it would have had to happen right there on national TV. But he did the right thing. You know what I mean? By not responding, and that's why people are respecting him more right now. Because the bottom line, it was a sucker punch. He sucker punched him, when he wasn't expecting it, and that's just wasn't the way to go. So that's the way I look at that whole situation right there. All right, and again, we talked about the boy in white. I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks the boy in white is bad. No, the boy in white is bad. And the only thing I don't like about the boy in white too, I don't like that motherfucker. And another thing I don't like is that I just don't see how they're going to maintain this with that actor. I don't know how this actor's. Throughout the years, this goes 5 years. This kid's gonna grow up. He's gonna, you're gonna have to get a new actor to play the boy in white, unless you're recording all of his places right now. There's no other way for it to go down. Yeah, this is the time to eat, 9 o'clock at night. Go ahead. I ain't stopping you. Right, Chippy? Come here. Come here, Chippy. Don't make me. Chippy, come here. Come here. Come here. Chippy. Why God damn it, Chippy. Chippy is just bounces. You can't get a hold of Chippy. Chippy nervous, like it's prison and shit. What you want me for? What you really want me for, man? This ain't prison, Chippy. All right. You ain't gotta worry about that. And all that. All right. Yeah. the boy in white's a mole. I don't know if the boy in white's a mole, but I don't know why the boy in white, his hair was all wet and shit. If he's a ghost, why was his hair wet? Why was he getting affected by that rain and shit too? You know what I mean? He looked like Eddie Munster, and all that. Oh, the faithful plan. So why are we still talking about the slap? Someone just brought it up. I'm not really talking about it. Someone brought it up because the picture looked like Jada Pinkett. Maybe you didn't see the pictures. So I said the picture I brought up looked like Jada Pinkett, and that's how that whole thing's situated. But listen, it's a part of pop culture. It's a part of history. People be talking about that in our generation and after beyond. That's just something that that'll be talked about forever, unfortunately. All right, let's keep going through here and keep talking about everything else like that. Shut up, KP. You about to get blocked messing with me. Tony, do you think some of the people in the town really know what's going on? If there's a mole, then yes, there'd definitely be a mole. Now, Fatima, people are saying that she's a mole. I'm not saying she's a mole because she's sexy. All right. I think she's hot. All right. And she was nice when she came on the channel. So she's not the mole. I'm not going with that. All right. The bartender dude, yep, I'll go with that. I think he could possibly be a mole, without a doubt. The bartender could do it. He fits the bill, but I'm not going with her. Yeah. Let's see. Keep her name out your mouth. Alopecia. She associated with alopecia. Anyone ever thinks alopecia, the first thing you're gonna think is Jada Pinkett, right? I've heard that she should be the spokeswoman for it. They should do a campaign with her about it. They really should. She's what's associated with it. You know what I mean? And that's it. Blazing. The Blazing. What is that? Pokemon in there? Blazing? I'm just gonna say that. Where's the power coming from? We don't know. I think it's some form of alien technology. You know what I mean? That's what I would think. That any thoughts on those dogs? The dude named Brett. Somehow these dogs can also see the boy in white. Somehow they're his dogs and they're protecting him somehow. So that's all I can think about the dogs. I can't think anything else about them. Is that somehow they're protecting it. That's what comes down to the boy in white. Because Victor was like, is he real? He never thought that he was real. He always thought it was a figment of his imagination until somebody else seen him. Now we have 3 people that seen him now. So what is it with him? You know what I mean? What's going on here? 3 people seen him and the dog seemed to see him. So is it some type of, it can't be a ghost situation. It has to be something else. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll have to go through more with the boy in white. They didn't give us anything. There's only like 3 episodes. You don't give, all we know is that if he's a figment of the imagination, why is his hair wet? We don't know. And as Rachel definitely says, yes, the dogs they're always with him. They are always there. Perry says it's Tesla technology, wireless electricity. It is, and I said that it's some type of situation like that going on with that, without a shadow of a doubt. Jade's Visions, Femba. I did a whole video on Jade's video. It's Visions. I didn't do a second one on the second vision with the tree, and I do have to do that, and I will get that bit out there. And all that. Fantasy, other aliens. The other aliens transform to dogs. Nope, I don't believe that the other aliens do transform to dogs. I think they're the crows. If anything, the other aliens are the crows because they see everything. And the only way they'd be able to see it is if they were the crows, unless it's some government situation. They got cameras everywhere that they can see everything. Let's see. I wonder who will be on the Greyhound bus next season. Well, I think that the majority of us and everyone's going to say that Kenny's so-called girlfriend's real girlfriend is going to be on that bus because it is from the area that she's from. And if it's going to be anyone, now they may not do it just because people think it, but if anything, they're going to think that it's that it's them, that it's her. She's going to be there. Ruben, Boyd will turn into a monster because the spider bunch that's how the monsters are created. I don't think so, Ruben. I don't see that whatsoever. They're not going to get rid of the star of the show and turn the star of the show into a creature. This is the whole thing. So you can go back to the days of the old Batman, Adam West shows. And every time the Adam West shows, at the end of every Batman, there would be a cliffhanger. Him and Robin would be stuck somewhere. I remember one time watching one of the episodes, and they were fighting a guy called the like glue, the glue master or something like that. I forgot his name. Something dealing with glue. And I remember like he stuck them somewhere. And fucking Robin, he says, "Holy Elmer, Batman, we're stuck." And everything. But the whole thing holy Elmer, Batman and stuff. But the whole thing about it is this. This is what it is. When you have a cliffhanger, when you have a cliffhanger, they have that means that they get out of the situation. You can't have a cliffhanger at the end of a show and then the person die from that situation. Right? You don't do that. That's not how you do a show. So you can't have someone have a cliffhanger and then they die. So when we see Boyd stuck inside of a chimney that he's in, and that is a cliffhanger, that means he's not going to die in that chimney. He's going to get out of that chimney. Now, if you want to say that at some point he turns into one of these creatures, oh, I can't see it. Number one, he's a star. If it was someone else that got bit and it happened to them, then yes. But the star of the show, I don't see them doing that to him. As I said, we talked about a little bit earlier. I think it may cure his Parkinson's disease. I think that's how it would go down, and everything else. What will they find at the lighthouse? I don't even think that they're going to get to the lighthouse. I think that they'll be back. Remember, they went inside the tree, so I think they'll be back in town. And they'll have to journey again back out to the woods. You can't have them all the time go all the way out to the lighthouse and figure shit out. I think they're gonna get sucked right back into towns through these trees, and they'll have to make their way back out into the lighthouse. But I think most of the people that we see come in that bus are more people that die. That means people are gonna die. You know what I mean? It means that a lot of people are going to die because they have a lot of new characters they're either going to bring in, or these characters are people who are going to die, and that's the reason why they bring them in. You know, that's what I think is going to happen here, and everything else. Interesting that spider bite would cure his heart condition. It would be if he. It seems he has Parkinson's disease because he's shaking. So that's what it. So yes, it would be interesting that the venom from this spider would cure his condition. Dream says, "Did you catch the part when the bottle falls down the stairs and the wife says, 'Can somebody get that in a dream?' And then Boyd gets it in reality." Yes, I did. It's the same exact bottle, and then we've seen exactly when we looked at the date of that bottle. And if you look up that date in the bottle, you will see that that is a time that scientists said that they discovered alien life forms on Earth that was mummified. And that's what happens in that time period. Other things happen in that time period, but that's one of the things that happened in that time period. Ruben saying, "I have this question in my head. When Jim goes to check his wife, there's a massive hole in the kitchen, but they were digging downstairs. What do you think of that?" I think that that's kind of, I didn't like the way they went down, because the bottom line is when she hit that bottom, she hit it. You could hear it when she hit it with the shovel. It sounded like she hit metal. 100% sounded like she was hitting metal. And all of a sudden, there was no metal to be found down there. So I don't understand how they explain that away. You know, when she goes, I hit bottom, ding, 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 you can hear it. Sounds like she hit metal against metal. So I don't understand. And then when she goes down, there's not a drop of metal to be found. You know, so that to me is weird and everything. Maybe hopefully they explain that. I don't get that. All right. Next, Rachel says, "What if the oncoming storms coverage blocks the sun and decreases the aliens come out in the daytime?" Well, that's a good possibility. Could be. I think you know what I mean. Definitely could do something like let's see them doing something like that. You know, or listen, maybe it'll prove that this dude who's out here talking about they fish people, maybe they'll prove that they fish people. Listen, if I see these howdy doody swimming around, you know, like a damn shark and shit, you know, going around biting motherfuckers, I'm gonna be done with the show. All right, you get if I see this, I'm gonna have to be done. I have to go. I have to go away. I have to go away, man. I have to go away. I gotta bounce then. I gotta bounce. I do. I would have no choice but to bounce then. I would have no choice. Again, let me say this again in case new people are here and everything else. Tomorrow night, I will be here with Bridge 4. We'll be going over Outer Range, right? The first 2 episodes, Fill the Issues Guy, Don Tony Teflon, Usual Suspects, Bridge 4. We'll be here going over that show. If you have not seen Outer Range, you have a chance right now to go watch the first 2 episodes on Amazon, right? We all have Amazon Prime. If you don't, why wouldn't you have Amazon Prime? You get free shipping when you buy from Amazon, right? So you have to have it. It's there. It makes no sense not to have it. It pays for itself in my case, in like a week, all the shit that I'd be buying and shit, you know what I mean? So we'll be doing the Outer Range first 2 episode breakdown. Just put a video out on it. You can check that video out. Again, check out Bridge 4's channel. If I have a mod, please put Bridge 4's channel in the description. He does the best breakdowns of shows that you ever could see. He explains a lot of stuff to you. Is he the Don? No. But he's great at what he does. Is he as good looking as the Don? No. He could be better looking than the Don. You'll see tomorrow. Bridge is my brother. I love Bridge. I love Phil. I love Elamar. These are my people, and definitely support them. He'll be on here, and Phil will be on here tomorrow. You know what I mean? Check him out. He does a phenomenal job, without a doubt. You can't do it any better than Bridge can do it. You know what I mean? So definitely check out his thing. Again, to the mod, please put Bridge's link. And if you want to listen to or talk about Better Call Saul final season, you know where to go. Fill the Issues Guy right when the episode is done. Check out his channel. All right, and he's got that. Ruben saying, you think Victor's deep down knows what's happening there, kind of like the old guy in Squid Game. Victor gave me that vibe that you know. Now you know that she says to him, the daughter says to him straight up, like, what's going on here? And then he doesn't, and before he goes into she asks him. So yes, I do think Victor does know. Because the daughter asks him, she said, what's going on, Bob? She says something, I don't know exact word, but she says something. And when she does, he doesn't answer. And then she also asks him what happened to your parents. And he's like, I don't want to talk about that. Ethan asked him that. So they definitely try to get him. So I do think he knows more than he's letting on and stuff. But I know some people may say they were disappointed with the ending of the season, but you got to understand they can't give it. This is not a movie. They can't give everything away right then. You know what I mean? And that's what it is and stuff. So that's the way it goes. All right, we're an hour and 30 minutes in of me doing this by myself. So I will shut this down a little bit. We'll go 10 more minutes, then we'll shut this down. And then I'll be back tomorrow talking about outer range with Bridge and Phil the Issues Guy and everything else, right? We'll be doing that. I'm back next week, and then after that, it'll be every Tuesday because Phil does Better Call Sal on Monday, so we have to come on Tuesday and everything else. I appreciate your cacti. Is that what that is? Doug Mug. Doug Mug. What does that say, Abnormal? What do you mean? Do you like men down? What do you mean by that? You put in capital letters. What do you mean by that question? Are you, if you're asking me, and I'm just going to assume what you're asking me, that am I attracted to men in a sexual way? Then the answer is no, I am not. This is not no, I am not. I do not like men, but I appreciate being liked, but I'm not. I do not. Unfortunately, that's just not for me. But I'm. Listen, it is what it is. This is not the way the Don rolls and everything else. But I appreciate everything else. I appreciate. I told people, Don, the deal. You know what I mean? I'm like Secret. I'm strong enough for a man, but I'm made for a woman. So that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Ruben says, man, if this show don't come down to aliens, I'll feel bad for Teflon. Hugs, bro. Amazing work. Listen, if it doesn't, if they are not aliens, I'm gonna tell you straight up, it won't stop my shine. I won't really care about it. You know what I mean, or anything. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, and all that good stuff. It's just a theory, man. I get a lot right. I get a lot wrong. That's the way it goes. Looking good today. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I wish I had the arms out for flex a little bit for you. For you. Oh my God. I met AU, my brother AU packed me up in the building downloads. I love everybody. You know, I got love for everybody. What up, AU, man? Glad to see you in there, brother. Glad to see you and everything up. Angela E. What do you mean, Tom Thomas? Who is Tom? Thomas is the dead. I don't know what you're talking about. So I gotta go away from that right there. Michelle Hayes says Jada owns that look, alopecia or not. A lot of black women can pull off short hair. A lot of women can pull off short hair. Even Demi Moore pulled off short hair. You know what I mean? And and it had nothing to do with the alopecia. The Percy is saying it's not alien symbols. The talismans have no effect on aliens more than spiritual. Yeah, it's not the symbols on that because they're making the symbols themselves, right? So that's not the case. It's not the symbols. It has to be the rock, kind of like Superman with kryptonite. It has to be something doing with that. Meg Allen, and my mother's maiden name is Allen. That's actually my middle name is Allen, named after my uncle. Very cute today. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't think I looked cute today. Yeah, I have to reconsider what I wear on these goddamn streams. I appreciate the comment. Truly do. Truly do. Um, Teflon, what did you order to eat? That's terrible to ask me that because I feel terrible that I did because I shouldn't be eating this shit. You know what I mean? I usually eat much healthier, but actually, I ordered chalupas from Taco Bell. I be telling people from DoorDash and told them to text me. Instead, DoorDash decided to call me. I understand that and everything else. But I ordered chalupas, 2 chalupas, steak chalupas from Taco Bell. That's what I ordered. And they're sitting over there. I'm going to eat them in a second. That's what I ordered. Let's go. Bell Sage says maybe resources are becoming scarce because it's time for the cleansing again, like when Victor was low. So it could be a situation like that. You know, I mean, he has had peaches since the 70s, and now they're running out. How many cans of peaches are there? You know what I mean? This chick is in there dying of making pancakes. You know what I mean? How much flour and pancake stuff do you have in there? You know what I mean? I don't understand it. You know what I mean? So They got how do you have the syrup? I mean syrup, yes. Could you have maple trees back there and get syrup? 100%. 100%. My father used to do that on his property. Stand out there for hours, my dad. Hours upon hours and hours tapping these damn trees and making maple syrup and everything else and all that, So I don't know. It could be a situation like that. Did you know the Russo brothers? Yes, I did know the Russo brothers executive produced from, without a shadow of a doubt. T.H. Man the third. Who do you think made the talisman? Past residents. Um. So yes, it would have to be a situation like that from back in the day. Because when we see all the bottles that are hanging up on the streets and the bottles that are there from years and years and years ago, right? Uh, Hundreds of years from before they got there, they got bottles that are all up on the tree. So maybe someone who made those bottles figured it out about this rock and put the symbols in there so the people would know that these are dealing with these creatures and these will protect you from the creatures. And that's why they put those symbols in there to let you know that the creatures, the sunset and the sunrise and all that stuff, this has to do with them. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why they carved them in. That's what I would think why they would carve them in there. But I would think it was past people who were there because evidently this has been going on since like the Civil War. Has been going on since back then, which again leads me to believe that it's some type of, because why? How would the government be experimenting since the Civil War? You would think that it would be some recent thing. You're saying that the government had technology since then. I just don't know why they would do that. Lauren says here, why did someone hide them in a mound of dirt? I don't know if they hid them in the mound of dirt. There would actually was a cave. I don't know if they were hid in the cave. They were up against the wall. So I don't know if we could say that they were hid there and everything else. I would just have to say that they were there on the cave and everything else. Cross time loops. I could agree with some type of cross time loops, and I can agree with pocket dimensions type situation and everything else. Why were the dates inside the bottle? What do you think of that? So the one date that we seen that they talked about that Boyd had and that was carved in the wall behind Tabitha when she went up the spiral steps, that date is associated. If you look up that date, you will see that's when Americans, archaeologists, discovered remains that they believed were aliens. Without a doubt, you know what I mean? So I think that's what that date signifies, that they dug up those, that it has something to do with aliens. And I think that if we went through all the dates, it would have something to do with some type of aliens. I'm 100%, 100% sure that's what it would be, without a doubt. All right, let me get up out of here. Let me bounce. I've been here long enough, keeping y'all up long enough. Again, I gotta go to work in the morning, and I appreciate everybody out here rocking with me, especially me by myself, right? Me over here doing the solo and everything else like that. So yeah, definitely check out. I'll be here back tomorrow. Check out the show, Outer Range. If you haven't heard of it, check out Outer Range. We'll be doing it. We'll be here tomorrow. Me, Phil Issues Guy, and Bridgeford. We'll be talking about the first 2 episodes, and after that, we'll do it every Tuesday. And then I'll be back here again Wednesday as normal, talking about from season 2. There's still a lot to discuss, a lot of things going on. Hopefully we'll get an announcement that there is a season 2 by then. Rachel, as you said, stay sexy. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, please spread this across the room, and as always, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.